Fat production.
I think it's time that I turn up, hit you with that burner. It's time to get it crackin', so bring out that Tina Turner. It's time that I turn up, hit 'em with that burner. It's time to get it crackin', so bring out that Tina Turner. It's time that I turns up, hit you with what burns ya. I'm the new Prince of Crunk, aka I'm Tina Turner, my motherfucking mayor. I ain't got time for that. Unless that's about that money, I mean racks on racks plus stacks. I be strutting through the folk with them jerks of Lucie County. Yo niggas go to cuffin', cause my niggas bout that bounty. See, it can go down like any given day, so you better eat the cake, anime. I think it's time that I turn up, hit you with that burner. It's time to...
You find me on Instagram, Loving Not a Fighter. Catch me throwing hands at a local circuit near you.
Keep it locked where you got it. Strap on your mental and your physical seatbelts, because what's happening here is going to grow, and it's something that's going to be beneficial to you and your family and your friends.
She is super cool.
Yeah. On Bar City over there.
Yeah,
you know?
she's sick, man. Like I had her even with one of the guys that would come in the morning classes. I had her with a 21-year-old, and she was putting it on that dude. And that dude was like, he felt some type of way. He's like, came up to me, he's like, I know she's your daughter, but that's kind of like weird, man. Like I can't, you know what I mean?
I'm being beat by a little girl.
Yeah, it's like, you know, she can handle us. So I'm really proud. But you know what? I saw a post yesterday that disturbed the thing out of me, and it was Old City. Old City got back online, and I saw it. I was like, oh, let me see what's up, you know. And he posted like a first day at school, and these kids bullied a child. You know what I'm saying? And it was in an apartment complex, it looks like. They waited till they walked, and then they ganged her up, and they made her kneel down. They were pulling her hair, ripping her hair off,
so
kicking her. And she was
man.
like crying, like, stop it, stop it. But you know what's one of the biggest things that really, I wanted to, because everybody on that comment, what was interesting was, they were saying, they were talking about, like, man, if I was there, I'll beat those kids up. And you gotta think about it. Yo, these are kids, though.
Yeah.
So you want to beat those kids up, but now you're gonna get in
can't,
charge.
yeah,
you can't do that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
what I did notice is like, yo, you know what I've noticed that I've actually very thankful and didn't even realize until that day. I helped my daughter have self-confidence in herself.
Yeah.
And that's as parents and as adults, we should always help our kids and our surroundings being self-confident. That's how you stop bullying, because people that bully are because they have problems at home
that I can't
and that's how they vent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is something, like, I could really go deep on this stuff.
Yeah.
I've been around the block for a long time, and I actually save a lot of lives at my studio, man.
Yeah, you
I
do.
I see a lot of these kids in the streets that you be like, oh man, these guys are terrible. But these kids got no parents, nowhere to live. You know, they sell stuff because they just trying to move around. They call it. Somebody told me, yeah, man, I'm sofa surfing. I was like, sofa?
Couch hopping.
Couch hopping,
You know,
couch surfing.
couch
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, like, what is going on? Like, you know, sometimes.
think that would be happening in
But it's happening a lot. Like, I was a couch hopper. Like, I was homeless for a hot little minute. Like, and I prided myself in being a couch hopper, but you get to a certain age where you're like, I'm done with doing that. Let me kind of play by the rules and just do the right thing. But speaking of amazing kids, your daughter just won a riding competition.
Oh yeah, she did.
Horse riding, like, tell us about that.
She does barrel racing with my mom's horses. We got horses in our backyard for years, and
Must be nice.
Hello!
Girls like it, you know. They always want to pet the horse. But
Pet the horse, oh my goodness.
but yeah, she got first place in overall time for Texas Barrels. They do events like polls. They go around, and you know, it's an event that mostly women do.
And then didn't she get the fastest time on the what?
On Texas Barrels.
And what is that?
And she got first place overall in her division for you.
And how big are the horses that these kids are riding? And what age division is
like
your daughter in?
1,200 pounds.
And they ride these horses.
My daughter's like, 62 pounds.
Wow.
But
She got good control. I watched it.
Oh yeah.
And for her to play
I wanna
Spurs.
say,
My
man,
mom taught her.
I want to say, man, shout out to MF Mayor KuziCan. Once again, you raised the bar on your guests. Very entertaining and interesting guest, and big ups to your whole crew. But I wanted to say to Light Child, you know, I'm so glad you decided to come and do the show, because like you said, a lot of folks hear your name and they speculate. You know, your name goes places that your body doesn't, and a lot of folks get a chance to speculate. And now I see personally why you're so busy, why you're so in the house, because not only you're doing the music, but you're also a father. And now I think you're the fans, and they may not want to call themselves that, but you have a huge following.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. And I appreciate
now
that.
they see that.
And I'll be honest with you, man. I know it's all jokes and stuff like that, because people be like, man, Light Child charges mortgages, and man, he be taxing. But deep down inside, they love me, man.
Yeah. But you have to have that. A lot of folks are jumping on already beat people that pay money for their beats, and you can't do that and make it. People are well, if they're gonna sue me, let them sue me. You need original music to make it. That's
and
what
quality,
folks listening for.
what he brings, and he's a one-stop shop.
But you know what's amazing? Just to pitch in there real quick, and KuziCan can actually talk about that. Also Apollo, and they came to my studio. But what's amazing is the actual atmosphere and experience.
Oh my God! I cry every single time that I'm there.
No judgment zone.
I cry, dog.
And my goal and I have a huge staff now. I started by myself.
Right.
And now, how many people work at my studio?
Man, I don't know.
And great talent. And you know what's amazing?
And they're all,
bro, I have one of my master engineers
right here. This guy right here is an amazing.
Yo, Christian, come on, man.
Hello.
You know what's up?
Christian Alexander, LCP Studios. What's going on here?
He's there posted in the back.
He's my security
Hello.
guard.
Trackstar has a lot of respect for you as well.
Oh, thank you. He's amazing, actually.
He's like, yo, man.
You talk about Fred, right?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And they were like, you know, people were like, well, you know, it's these two guys. Either these two guys, and like you said, even though, and I tell people all the time, you get what you pay for in this business.
No, absolutely.
And if you want to be the best, you got to deal with the best. You got to work with the best. And these two guys are going to bring the best out of you. So I just want you to keep going. And KuziCan, I want to, after the show is over, I want to definitely make sure that KuziCan is going to help us out. What we're doing is a local unsigned show. And we're going to create where these people can perform live on Facebook right in the studio. I would love for you guys to come back and be honorary judges and guests and give them your opinion.
Absolutely.
And maybe if you see something you like, take them.
No problem.
You know what
And
I'm
one
saying?
thing about Light Child,
was
he will take you up under his wing, like.
Yeah. Because this cat is also talented too. I know Apollo, but this cat.
And I've been working with this guy for years, and I always tell him, like. And you know, and people think I'm wild now, but I know you've really seen like my different phases and stuff like that, and he's never judged me. And every time I've been to his studio, I brought a material that I wouldn't have been able to bring to anybody else's studio and get a product from it that I would have not gotten from anywhere else. So that you're here, and I know you probably get tired of me saying thank you, but Light Child, I love you, and I love what you do for not only me, but for my city.
And then my man, Quentin.
Hello.
Yeah, Quentin,
aka Take It.
Quentin comes in and goes, you know, first of all, he walks up to me. I know he's in MMA, right? I've seen some videos.
He's like, yo, don't say that.
And I'm like, okay. And he's like, man, hey, look. I grew up listening to you, man. Boy, your music get me pumped up, man. I'm glad I could be a help.
And I think we got our first caller, too. Okay. So let's see what's cracking. Hey, caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Nick, and I'm from Fort Pierce.
Hey, 772 in the building. What's good, Nick?
What's good, man?
Not much, chilling up here at the station, you know. First and third Friday, same old, same old.
You got a question?
Yeah,
or comment?
I follow this guy. What'd you say?
I said a question or a comment, but go ahead.
Yeah, I follow this guy. His name's Alex Cloud. He's got some fire music, and I heard his song was playing today. And I was just curious about what time frame, because I'm really excited about it.
Alex Cloud.
Yeah.
You know him,
What's the name of the
Chris?
song?
No. Romantic Summer.
Romantic.
It's a beautiful name for a song. I'm going to have to look into that.
Out of Fort Pierce?
Yeah.
What in the hell?
Okay, now you cussing. Goodbye. Hang up the phone. Goodbye. We don't play that on my station.
All right, you're live. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm on the air?
Yeah.
What's up? Monty, I got a question for Quentin.
Oh, okay. What's up?
I'm trying to figure out how I get to train with you. You training like 80-year-old women. Like, when do I get my time in?
Oh, yeah.
How do I contact you?
Oh, what's your name?
Just play.
Justice. How do you want to train? Hey. What you doing, man?
This person.
How do you train? If you want to get a hold of me, shoot me a message or give me a call, 772-201-6667.
Money. You got like IG, I get you on Facebook, like what?
Yeah, get me on Facebook, get me on Instagram at Lover Not a Fighter.
Okay.
And then my
Love
It's almost like
Then he's a lover, not a fighter.
You're like, I'm a lover, not a fighter, but yet you beat everybody up.
That is so funny.
That's hilarious.
All right, that's another question. How do you find the time to train? Because you're training for a fight now, plus you are a physical trainer.
Well, we train all the time, but whenever you train for a fight, that's when that's like training 2-3 times a day, going hard, getting sponsors, working a little bit less, making getting the sponsorship will pay for my camp.
Okay.
And then we always learn technique. We always get better as a fighter in martial arts. We always stay in shape.
Right.
All right, we got more with Quentin Bray and Emilio Lightchild Perez coming up, and we also got Mel Make You Think. So we want you to stick around for this segment. This lady right here will talk about some stuff that'll really make you think, and I want you guys' opinion. We got Apollo Vega in the building. Chazzy Productions just walked in this bitty. Kool, Kush, hit us with a song or two before Mel make us think.
It's just like on another level. Right?
Man, I told him.
My boy Jerkz is like,
that was like
Jerkz.
He's Super Saiyan.
Yeah, exactly. I like it's like Dragon Ball.
Did you see the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, you sung the crap out of that.
Thank you.
Oh, no,
You sung the crap out of that.
Well, long
Hey,
way,
look,
right
and you already know, but you already see where you're going. You've already played in this game, so you know what game they're playing. Go in there and give them what they want. Hello. You go in there and give them what they want.
That's why we took a broadcast, a real broadcast. Yes, I could bring like 3 cameras.
This is why I like because people just, you never know who's going to meet her.
What up, what up? It's good to be back in the building. It's Mel Make You Think.
Hello.
What's up, Mel?
What's going on, everybody? So, as y'all know, every time I come on the radio, I decide to share information that makes you scratch your head, think a little bit. Yeah. And since right now we're at back to school time, I decided I want to talk about some alternate options for schooling, because I don't think that everybody out there is aware that there are several options out here when it comes to the education of your children, and especially within our community. I think that we just seem to just follow the normal protocol. But there is such thing as homeschooling, and I think that that's something that needs to be talked about a little bit more, because there's a lot of myths that come with that and misconceptions. Some of those are actually things like people think, oh, well, I don't have enough time to homeschool, I work too much, or I can't afford to homeschool, or I don't have a teacher's degree, I'm not certified to teach my children, or I don't have the space, or I always hear that people think that their children are going to lack social skills if they're homeschooled.
Yeah.
So I'm actually here to bust some of those myths and let y'all know that, number one, time is not an issue when it comes to homeschooling. If you actually dive into it and look at the laws, I mean, and they do vary state to state, but I know like here in Florida, for example, there's no set schedule for homeschooling. You don't have to sit down Monday through Friday and work with your kids from 9 a.m. to 3. If you have a job and that doesn't work for you, you might want to sit down with your kids and do it from 5 to 7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe from 12 to 3 on Saturdays and Sundays. It is completely up to you. There's no set amount of hours that you have to sit down with your kids. It's more about what you're teaching them, and that you can prove that, and that they can actually show the ability to move on. As far as money being an issue, we all know that there's so many programs out here where they give away free school supplies. So that right there is boom. You can get that taken care of at the dollar store. You can spend $10 and have almost everything you need to teach certain subjects. Not only that, but when I go around to these thrift stores and Goodwill, you'd be surprised to see how many times that teachers throw away old handbooks, or not throw away, but donate them. You can find lesson plans, you can find student handbooks with the answer keys in them, all of that stuff right in the thrift store, 25 cents. Sometimes you can even barter at the register and get them for 10 cents.
Wow.
The library itself has tons of resources for homeschooling. And then at the end of the day, it doesn't cost for you to actually sit down and read with your child or do whatever subjects that you want to do. Even science. Sometimes you can find stuff right in your own fridge just to sit down and teach them things. And even uniforms. I mean, you could sit down and teach them in their night clothes. I mean, whatever works for you. As long as they can show that they can excel to the next level, you've got this. The teaching degree part. That is not required. I can't speak for other states, but I know here in Florida, you don't have to be certified to teach your kids. And when you actually get into the meat of things, you don't even have to be an expert to teach. I won't go into some of the teachers that are out there and whether they're qualified or not.
Hello,
But what I
I
will
done been
say,
to school around here.
yeah, but what I will say is, as the parent, you know your children the best. And especially if you have multiple children, you figure out, okay, well, maybe this one is more auditory. This one's more kinetic, more visual. And you get that chance to sit down and hone those skills with them and provide them with opportunities, whereas though maybe when they're in a classroom setting and they're student number 24 out of 32, nobody sees that they, you know, like I said, they're auditory versus visual. So, you know, so now they're lacking or they're behind versus other students. And not only that, but you don't need the teaching degree because you're relearning in the process with your children, and it's such a fun process. Don't ask me how I know.
And in fact, I was actually about to get into this because not one time did you say how you know this. Like, how has your experience as a home school teacher been? Like, off the books, how has it been for Mel? Make you think, like, honestly.
Okay, so I have 3 children, and I homeschool all 3 of them. So I have an 8-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And I pace myself, and I take advantage of the fact that I can look at each of them individually and work with them. And I personally create my own curriculum, because that's another thing that I think people get confused about. There are several options with it. You can create your own curriculum. Like I said, I personally, have certain beliefs and certain things that I want them to know about the world, and I rather focus on financial literacy and making sure they're able to survive, and certain things that they don't even touch upon, or they wait till maybe 7th or 8th grade.
When you're tired of learning by then.
And me and my husband, we're entrepreneurs, so we take it in that direction. But I don't have the biggest space ever. I don't have the biggest bank account ever, but I still make it work because I believe in my children and I believe in educating them. And I personally, like I said, I like to take advantage of the fact that I can work with them individually. I know what's going to work with them and propel them into the world. A few other things I do want to say is that you can hire a tutor. There's also private co-ops out here where you can get together, send your kids to an actual facility. They could do 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days out the week, and you'll come to find that there are other homeschoolers. It's run by mothers. They're coming up, and their curriculums aren't these core curriculums that they're getting now in the public school systems. It's, like I said, there's survivor skills. They talk about health. Sometimes they do woodworking, ceramics.
Language, isn't your kids learning another
they do
language?
different languages as well. So it's so many different things. Oh, I didn't know if anybody.
Yeah,
I have a question. So, since you've done that, I like that idea. People say that you need to put your kids in there because there's social habits that we learn when interact with the kids. So, have you seen where maybe it's not true that we have to be in a certain school system to get those social habits? Maybe we get them in another way. So, what have you learned coming to that aspect of school? Because there's also a lot of mental illness going on in high schools, where maybe starting over is homeschooling more because you're putting a lot of these kids into these places with mental health issues, and it's not even about the class. It's about these things that happen in between, because a lot of teachers look away, a lot of deans look away. I hate the whole thing. When it comes to, I don't even see why we have, what's the thing you used to get sent to if you're bad?
ISS.
That's the devil. Like,
ISS
that is like modern days. There's something they need to evaluate because I've literally been to where y'all went to Westwood, like they would leave us in there with kids who just pick. I mean, it makes no sense. So how do you combat something like that?
Well, I guess to combat it, I would say go down the homeschooling route, and like I said, there's several options. You can also do online virtual schools. But to your point in particular, me personally, my train of thought behind it is I don't see so many social skills being picked up in school versus behavioral issues.
Yeah,
being
hello,
picked up.
speak on it.
Now, when I take my kids out and we go to the market, we're talking math now. We're talking looking at decimals, and we're trying to figure out how much can we get for 30 bucks.
Yeah.
You go to the bank, it could be math. You can make it reading. You can talk about directional signs. We got to go north, 2 aisles, and then you go west and look for the bread. It could be, it's so many things you can do, but that's everyday life. Right. And we also do travel for our business as well. So I feel like the social skills come from the everyday life.
And you have amazing kids. Let me throw that out there, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
This might be
Thank you
our
so
kid show. We've been talking about kids this whole show. Shout out to the kids.
Yes, shout out to the kids. They don't have AC, asbestos, things of that nature. So I'm like health conscious. I'm like, I can't even imagine sending them in there for 5, 6, 7 hours a day, breathing that air. And then I know what they get fed at lunch. Mm-hmm. And then they get made fun of if they bring their own stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole set of things that go on. And then, like I said, I know that the standards have changed as far as how they hire teachers. And I also know that in society, like a lot of the times when we pick jobs, not from our hearts anymore.
It's
we pick
for the
them
coin.
For the paycheck.
You do it for the check, and I know some other people do it for the check.
Yeah, so I'm teaching my kids from the heart and trying to make them better, and they're just going to be, I guess, awesome for the world.
If there was a parent that's listening, I want to get more information on homeschooling. Mel, where would you direct them?
I know it's going to sound so cliche, but definitely just start at Google. And especially here in St. Lucie County, you can just put in homeschooling for St. Lucie County, and it's pretty simple. It's still recognized by the state. I don't want anybody to think, oh, my child's not going to graduate, or they're not. You can even play sports at some of the local schools when you still homeschool. It's a lot of things and a lot of options that you can have. But here in the county, you just pretty much have to just register them, send in a statement of intent, keep their work, a portfolio, and then have them evaluated at the end of the year, whether it's by another teacher or a certified person on the board. Again, you find that when you're homeschooling them, you get to the meat and the crux of things.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time it comes for that end of the year evaluation, you got a stack of stuff.
And it's growing. Homeschooling
They know more than the people at the other.
So, but before I close out with all of that, I wanted to see, does anybody want to play a game? First, a common type of radio wave is referred to as VHF. What do the letters VHF stand for? Is it very high frequency? Is it variable high frequency? Or is it video honing frequency?
Video honing frequency.
Variable.
Nope.
Very high.
I say
Very high frequency.
It was
Very
process of elimination. I didn't know that. Process of elimination.
The radio guy.
One of my many survivors.
All right.
Don't laugh like y'all.
No. I'm not.
I'm gonna call you out, Chicky.
What up?
So if Chazzy is facing north and he turns 90 degrees to his right, what direction is he now facing? South, east, or west?
West.
East.
Very good.
It's
It was
this way.
east.
Oh,
It's
And
east.
we got a caller.
I ain't smarter than the
Oh.
fifth graders.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hey, caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
my name is Courtney, calling from Baltimore.
Hey!
Yes. See, we got listeners all over. What's up, Courtney?
What's up? What's up?
You want to play my game?
Oh, 100%.
Hello.
Joe.
I like
Here we
Courtney.
go. Budapest is the capital of what European country? Is it Austria, Hungary, or Portugal?
Phone a friend.
I can't do a 50-50.
Phone a
Or
friend.
is Stina around? Maybe she can help. Yeah, you were right, Jumping Joe. You're right, Courtney. It's Hungary.
Because I'm hungry.
You should know this one. Which word contains a long vowel sound in the following sentence? Long vowel sound. Dogs like tennis balls. Is it tennis, like, or dogs?
Like.
That's it. That's it. Perfect. It's the I in light because it's
what's a long vowel?
A long vowel is the one that actually sounds like the letter. So A-E-I-O-U.
Oh, you blow my mind.
Yeah. The A-E-I-O-U.
Very
Whoa.
Talk about that because a lot of kids that do want to record, they're like, man, that's good. You know, it's like you say, like I want my daughter to go into like jiu-jitsu, and it's like $40 a month. That's So what you do is you find sponsorships. You also
Beautiful Miss Jungle Booty just came in. And we're about to go not into the Henny mix, but the Kush blend. We got more with Quentin Bray, Light Child, the Notorious Chicken, Chazzy Productions, Jumpin' Joe, Kool, Kush, Alexander, and somebody else of importance just walked in here, but I'll get all this information and tell y'all about it when we get back.
it's actually what we're starting.
Jungle Booty, I Mel Make You Think, Jumpin' Joe, Kool, Kush, Chazzy Productions, LCP, Quentin Bray, and then Apollo Vega is in here and he is trying out for American Idol this upcoming Friday, so we're gonna need the city behind him. Yes, and we got some other people in here that we you feel me? We gotta watch our back. We not just anybody here at the Jerkz of St. Lucie County.
We got security in the
Hello, and
have many video flyers. Actually, it's cool that we did video flyers instead
I'm
of just
still
regular
waiting on mine.
Actually, I have it.
Okay, we
I have
ready
it
to go.
right on my phone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I don't know if you guys seen like the people I've seen so far. Like I don't ask to be part of showcases and stuff, but when I seen the lineup, it's like these are people that have really been working for it. These are people that, and you are giving them an opportunity to really showcase. So we appreciate that.
No, absolutely, and just to add to that, I definitely there's a lot of people that think that a lot of the movement that goes on is because it's going to be biased, and it's not really about being biased, to be honest. If you work hard, I think you're going to be noticed.
Yeah, and you recognize who's working hard.
You know, so it's like if somebody works in your shop, and you could tell the difference between somebody that just want to get the paycheck and be out, and somebody that really cares about the customer. You know what I'm saying? It's two different things. Yeah. And maybe at that moment, and I get it. At that moment,
I heard you, not to cut you off, but on the way here, he was talking about how he did everything himself.
Yeah, he
and
did.
You know, I did everything.
And
for that same reason, like you don't want people to always think they can throw stuff in your face.
No, for sure.
Like if you don't put the work in the beginning, how are you gonna know how it feels to really cost? And then you call it. After you're a brand, like
he
you
is
know
a brand. You're totally right. You're totally right.
I love it. I was listening. I want to, I was listening. I was like, yeah, like you got to put footwork in. If you don't, like
you gotta love it yourself.
So to offset that, sometimes you see in the major corporations, people that just jump from not even a sales rep, they go straight to the top. And then that's why they treat the people on the bottom so harsh, because they don't know what it is to be in the mud.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I gotta be real though. And these are the touching points. And I know I'm never gonna have enough time because I really need a dig to clean up the city. Like if I want to clean and make people understand how this really works, music industry, fashion industry, the artists out there, all that. You gotta start from the bottom.
Yeah. Like I want to say this between the FMA and this crew right here, and also the Drive Time Show, we want to give you that platform, bro. I promise you, these stations, that's what we're all about. We want to give you that platform, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
You know, behind the FMA. So just know that you have it, man.
And that's a lot coming from you, Jumpin' Joe.
No, I mean, we all can't.
The
deal is we all have to play our role, and I know what my role is, and I see what his role is. And he has done the work.
Yeah.
And for him to disseminate it to someone will be more beneficial than me trying to learn from him and then come on the radio and talk about it. Let's just give him the platform, yo. And I think that's what makes it.
Thank you so much. It's humbling because, you know, a lot of times, I was telling my boy, I was like, yo, you know what's crazy? People just starting to know who I am. I
didn't even know who he was. But don't get it twisted.
And by the way, this is the real Light Child. This is not a recording.
Yeah,
out of the studio. He's out of his studio.
Listen, by the
He's
way,
here live.
even though they didn't know you, I heard of you. I just didn't know the face.
No,
like when he told me,
I told you.
I know so many people that come to you.
I told you that, right?
Shout out to Beamer. Shout out to Marcy.
Hello.
Girls from Fort
Oh, you know
Pierce.
what? Can I punch
Doing
you real
their
quick?
thing, yes.
We just released a record today. Marcy White and I.
Yes.
Wow.
Shout out.
I'm talking about a nasty.
So
That record's so fire.
Dropping. Can we get an exclusive?
It's dropped today.
It dropped today. I just didn't have the time.
Have we played it?
No, the problem is I didn't have time to edit it.
Yeah.
She was
You
really,
get it edited and bring it on, man.
Yes.
I want to be the first DJ
So,
on the
matter of fact, I'm gonna get it to you. What's crazy is that it's on SoundCloud already. It's on all major platforms. It's on the Light Child and Marcy White.
Oh, we gonna play it for the night
And it's
over.
called-
After we go to the jungle, we gonna go. Hello, we gonna go there.
It's called Double Dutch. So
Hello.
it's an interesting song. Y'all gonna love it. And just to give you some fire behind it, it's gonna give you that feel of Aaliyah Rock the Boat.
Come on,
Hey,
man.
not cool,
So
Kush.
we already know that when I produce, I really go.
Hello.
And I want to give a
Take
shout
the
out to
panties
Jada
off,
Kid.
cause she
I want to give a
showed
shout out to my team.
Yes.
You know, doing the recording, the mixing, the mastering. It's all a
Everything.
team effort. So
Yes.
yeah, and I
And you have an amazing team, by the
no,
way.
thank you. But like real quick, just because I know I don't have enough time, I don't want to take anybody's time away. But I want to be honest with everybody. Like I'm reachable. I'm reachable.
Yeah, you really
and
are.
all I'm doing is building a platform because Quentin will love him as a fighter. If somebody gave him a platform and said, "Hey, if you fight on my show, I promise you, man, somebody will pick you up. You probably make 50, 60,000 on your next fight." He's gonna go on that like quick. But the problem is there's no platform, so he has to fight for what they give him. You know what I'm saying? The same thing goes with the artists, and nobody wants to talk about this. I want to talk about this because I got a lot to talk about this.
Yeah.
But if you come August 30th, I'm doing an actual seminar before the artist showcase. That is the difference. I care about my community, and I care about the artistry.
Beautiful.
You know, and so people want to know how to make money doing what they love doing. For example, you do fashion, correct?
And I have a hair salon.
Okay,
as well.
so she does fashion and hair, but it wouldn't be possible for her to do it full time if she didn't have the help, the platform. It'll make it easier. So you have
Shout out to
grind.
Fort Pierce. Listen, I'm from Fort Pierce, and my city support me 100 to the fact that when I give like. You wouldn't even know, like, because I don't post it, I don't talk about it, you know. It's almost like running a hair salon or like you know, where guys get haircuts. Like, the people come in, the barbershop, people come in and tell you their life stories, you know, and they really support you, you know what I mean? Like, my first time coming to your studio, you were in the door as soon as I walked in. When you introduced yourself, I was like, dang, he here? Most people that own their business, you never see them.
Because sometimes you get numb to it. It's like when you go to the hospital, right? Or the emergency room. Quinn just broke his arm. And he's like, what's going on? My arm will never come back.
Like
and then the nurse will be like, man, can you relax? Here's a couple of pills. They numb to it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't show you the same thing that you're feeling, but it's your first time experiencing it. So my job is to kind of say, okay, you know, instead of me making myself numb, let me actually help feel what's going on so I know what they're going through and I can assist them the best way I can.
I like that.
You
You
know what I'm
can
saying?
do that, and
Yeah.
this man ain't just talking. This man does that. I can speak for that. Like, this man does that. I've been going to the studio 8 years. Only studio I go to, this man does that, and he genuinely cares about the artist that cares about their craft. Now, don't come into his studio with the big bull because he's gonna give you that. But if he sees something in you, this man will. And I wanted to say today, and it's surprising that you spoke about that. I wanted to say another job that you'd be real good at is being somebody's consultant. Because I know I call you and I talk to you about everything. Man, and like people like you said, they think you're inaccessible. But I'd be like, nah, I talk like when people find out like I talk to Light Child, they be like, oh, you talk to Light Child? I'm like, I just called this man and cry about something and he listens, so
But he hit Light Child hit the nail right on the head before. A lot of folks won't pick up the phone.
Yeah. You do that. Yeah,
and
he
they'd
does
rather
that.
make their own opinions.
But he's so busy thinking that, and he won't pick up his phone, and I don't mess with him. And you haven't even picked the phone up, and you haven't even reached out to Light Child.
Speaking of the game of telephone, the phone is ringing.
I know. I thought I was tripping.
All right, go ahead.
Hello, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this Papa John's pizza.
No, it's not. Hey.
Jerkz was saying Lucie County.
Hello.
Literally just wanted to call in for a quick second. Just
Henword.
Shout out, yo, shout out to Cuz I Can, the Muff,
Steve.
And
Cool, Kush, you played that mix.
Thank you.
Hey, I know y'all got lights out in the building.
Yeah.
Everybody clicking on for the city. 772, we in here. Jungle Booty.
And what about Mel? Don't forget about our educator, Mel.
make you think.
Oh, man. Made us think. I heard the game earlier, and yeah.
Wasn't that fly?
The Budapest, capital of Hungary, yeah. Get that.
Hey, Henword, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
I probably can't even beat up a fifth grader. Man, I don't know. These fifth graders nowadays, gotta watch them.
So you out in the field. Where are you, Henword? I know you're working on.
I'm out in Miami right now.
Whose concert are you going to see, which I'm super mad at because I did not get an invite? Mm-hmm.
Yo, it's Young and May. She's showcasing big dress right now, so.
And you didn't even tell us about this.
Listen, we are.
I'm actually, hopefully, I can just throw my panties on stage and see my
Yes, make sure it's your good panties, child.
Oh my God. The good one. Well, be safe. We're about to get into
bad connection. We're going through a tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's good to hear you guys on the radio down here, and keep doing your thing. A lot of good things I'm hearing right now, but the show is great. So I'll see you guys next
He
Friday.
said that like Tony.
Thank you.
Jungle. The MF.
Hey, Jumpin' Joe. Hey, Jumpin' Joe.
Hey, Mama.
I haven't seen you in so long. You still look good as ever. You remind me of the good old days. No, seriously, the good days. You didn't have to worry about like killing and fighting, jumping. Like everything. Like the green leaf was jumping. Shout out to the green leaf DJs.
Hello.
You making my sexy act up.
All right.
You making
I
my
love that
sexy
shirt
act
you have on.
Oh,
Too.
thank you.
What is it? 91.1. You
Yep,
still there?
91.1, and it's one of our signature artists. So unique.
I love it. Where can I get it?
I have one made for you.
You need to have 10 made so we can sell them at the boutique.
Oh, yeah.
Period. My boutique, 1670 Southeast Port St. Lucie
That's what's
Boulevard.
up.
Dope
That's
and
up.
Designer Boutique. So let's jump right into
the jungle.
Say it again. Look
I've been waiting for the jungle.
Listen, y'all need to really see Cisco. I call him Cisco. I love him to death. He can really dance.
I can.
Like, seriously, he can really dance. And I miss you. I haven't seen him.
And you haven't answered any of my calls either.
We are so on air.
We are.
Dirty laundry time.
Right. I love you. So listen, Quentin.
Hey.
Like, child, listen. I talk about relationships, like your happy space. You know what I mean? No negativity, nothing like that. So I want to know, how do you both balance work and family? Because nobody gets to see that.
Well, for me, I bring my daughter with me. I work for myself, and she's in a private school, so I feel like a private school is different than a public school. It's more family oriented.
We're just talking about that, man.
And I went to public school my whole life.
Yeah.
But so I pick her up. I take her to school half the week, and her mom does that as well.
Co-parenting?
Yes.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know, no lawyer involved or nothing like that.
Shout out. What's your nationality?
I'm mixed with black.
Yes. Good mixture. Good mixture. Little cornbread. A little milk in it. Okay. So that's what's up. And you still get to see your daughter.
Well, because I work for myself, I schedule my clients around the times I need it to be. my first client's at 6 a.m. My last one's at like 8 p.m.
So you have
we
one
grind.
child?
I have one daughter, yes.
Oh, that's
She's 9.
daddy's girl.
Yes.
That's what's up.
She
And
knows
you know
martial
what?
arts.
Now, and you know what? You guys, I know you know Tyler Sears.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
He's like a friend of the family. Shout out to Tyler Sears.
Hello,
and his
shout out.
thing. And you and him have so much in common when it comes to, because he has a daughter, and his daughter actually trains with him.
Okay.
He started like, you know, young kids, just getting them in shape, you know, something to do after school. So shout out to Tyler as well.
Oh,
now, Mr. Lightchild, how you manage like your career and your studio, and you are a cameraman. I saw you. Shout out to
We do it all, man.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Jada. That's my homie. You like are everywhere, like photographer, beats. Like, how do you still have time for your kids?
Very difficult. Very
Really?
difficult. Yeah, very difficult. But you know what? I talked about that earlier, and you have to make time for your kids.
You have to.
So if
Special
you,
girls being a
definitely.
father.
I have 2 girls.
Oh,
I have
yes.
2 girls.
I was a daddy's girl.
Oh my God! I guess I only produce girls, but man.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, we multiply.
They're guys.
You know
They're
what?
guys.
You know what? They birth kings.
We
They're
run
guys.
the
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't take none away from females. Females are, like I said, they birth kings. And if it wasn't for my mom to be around when I needed her, I wouldn't know what to do myself. But you know, I was
Big
able
up moms,
to.
man.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, Tiny.
So,
I know, I gotta do my mom hair after the show. Shout out to Gentle Lady. I'm coming, Mom. Lace together, boo. Okay. I also do have, oh, look, I'm getting better.
Yeah, you
I didn't even say the price. Yeah.
Non-profit, baby.
Yes, non-profit. But yeah. Okay, so listen, moving right along. What do you guys do for fun outside of, like, your career? Like, I know you guys love your kids, you love family, but fun. Like, for example, I love fishing. Any day of the week, 4 in the morning. I love crabbing. I love fishing. I love fishing. What? It's so funny. Really? I've never even been on.
Oh yeah.
You haven't been on. I love fishing. Indian River. A1A, crabbing. I know how to crab.
We gotta go on a fishing trip.
I only call Cisco the mayor, chicken the Notorious chicken when I want to have a good time. Party favor.
What does that mean?
That mean drinking. That mean have fun.
Do you have on your boots? Because if not, you can't come.
What? Why are you listen?
No, I'm talking in general. Of course, we're coming with
but
you. We gotta go
I
get
don't wear
the.
boots. I don't like those.
You don't even like my boots.
I don't. I'm a
You gonna have to put on some of that then.
You better get rid of them before the classic, because seriously, y'all gonna wake
I'm
up
wearing them
and
to
sock.
the class.
Oh, listen.
And I'm gonna have
really?
blinged out boots for the class.
Where were we?
I know, because they about to make me go Jehovah's Witness up here.
It shall remain nameless in Palm Beach.
Oh, my God.
Every time I go around them,
Welcome
it's a
to
battle.
the jungle.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, they do a mix, they go look at me. Okay, go ahead, get on. I'm like, no, I don't feel like it tonight. It's like, oh yeah, the big time DJ don't want to DJ, and it's like, it's this competition. So, you know, I know if we see you.
What is, Joe?
No. How do you deal with that when people walk over? Oh, so you're an MMA fighter? Punch me.
Whoa.
It depends on what day it is, really. Like, don't catch me, like...
I could concur, though. Like, I feel like, to be honest, like, when you have so much confidence, it's like, you just, like, it's just you relax.
Yeah, we don't fight. We don't look for...
Until
we like
something,
competition.
like, if you touch Quinn on a bad day, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, but
you know?
they don't touch me. I don't want to be touched.
Yeah, don't get touched. That's it.
Right.
And
it's like lines.
So you better never go to the club around here.
But no, I'm pretty... People look at me.
to the Legion
they don't really
tonight.
mess with me.
Right, because you got to look.
There's
You're
an
such a
energy.
cool
I
dude.
give off the energy anyway.
And I
are
wanted to
super
touch on that
cool.
because you're such a cool dude, and I would hate for your future to get sidetracked by some bonehead, you know?
Not a bonehead.
It's like one comedian said, like he says, this chick walks up to him, right? He's a comedian, and she's like, "So you're a comedian, huh?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Well, tell a joke, make me laugh." And so he says, "Well, where do you work?" She says, "Burger King." Says, "Well, make me a Whopper right now then." You know, and so when he flipped it on her, she kind of got the gist of it. you know, right now I'm an MMA fighter, but right now I'm not in that mode.
Yeah,
I'm not in that. I'm a producer, but right
That
now
was
I
a
don't.
good
You know what I mean?
question.
That was beautiful.
With the
That was
Emilio, I hear stories of him boxing his artists. Like if they mess up, they gotta do a round with Emilio.
That was actually
That's
fun.
why I don't never mess up when I go.
But you know what? That was a cool idea. My brother came up with that. He was like, "Yo, why don't you just do like a one rounder and give him like free studio time?"
They
We
wanted
gave the guy.
to.
And so what was cool was the guy actually he was so cool, and you know I'm not gonna hurt him.
Right.
But it was fun.
He's
It
heavy-handed.
depends on what time
He
of
hits hard
day
no matter
it
what.
is.
He hits hard no matter what.
Have you two ever just did for fun?
Oh, we're
So you know each other.
Yeah, we gotta
Oh,
fight
that's
each
what's
other.
up.
We sweat on each other. Like,
Oh my
we
God!
hug.
Welcome to the jungle.
We bleed.
We bled probably, some
Really?
headbutts or elbows.
That's what's up. So listen, I know
I'm blown
it's-
away. I never imagined this side of Light Child. I am blown away.
I know he is really great as a reporter for
Great
Jump and
interview.
Show.
Great interview, Mayor and Jungle Booty. Great interview.
Thank you. So listen, I always end my segment with a question. Everybody has to answer. You can say no, yeah, but you have to answer, right?
Gotta know how your
You guys
questions
need
go.
to see Cisco right now. Okay, Cisco, I'm gonna ask you first, and then I'm gonna go here. Okay, if you could recreate a sex scene from a movie, what scene and what movie?
Belly, baby, y'all already know the all
Oh,
chocolate
belly.
black belly
Okay,
at the beginning
belly.
with the dark skin.
Okay. Quentin.
Same question.
Yeah, everybody. This is
What jumped in my head was baby.
You know what? I'm trying to remember the name of the movie, but it was with Jada Pinkett.
Oh, you better shut up. That was
Monsters Ball.
No, he must be Jason Lyrics.
That's
Jason
Halle Berry.
That was mine. Oh God, that was my.
I'm like, wow, how many times can you really get busy?
You
like
know,
that?
every-
It was back to back. It
And
was
he's
amazing.
never seen it. He's
What
never
movie?
seen
Jason
Jason
Lyrics.
Lyrics.
Exactly.
No, I
That is
haven't.
the movie.
That, okay. So
See, she
Mel,
skipped.
make
She
you
know
think.
what time it is. That's a
Girl,
fire
I
scene.
am
Wow.
so bad with
I gotta
that.
see it.
But I ain't even gonna lie, that belly scene.
Hello,
Yes,
baby
yes,
dog.
I ain't
All right, Jumpin' Joe. Jumpin' Joe.
It's the same monster.
I gotta go with the 50 Shades of Grey the first time.
Oh, see, they nasty.
Jumpin'
They
Joe.
No, the first time though.
The first time.
Who your cable provider, Jumpin' Joe?
No, no, the first time when because she was a virgin, and he says, "Let's go get this out of the way."
I think it's time that I turn up, hit you with that burner. It's time to get it crackin', so bring out that Tina Turner. It's time that I turn up, hit 'em with that burner. It's time to get it crackin', so bring out that Tina Turner. It's time that I turns up, hit you with what burns ya. I'm the